And it's time for episode 4 of the Make It Rain podcast. Not very much happening, but we're breaking it down. We're breaking down this week as well. Let's go. And good morning, everybody. It is October 21st. Alongside hockey news analyst of the Ontario Reign, Anthony Collazo, and proud Yankee fan, I am Mustache Man now, Joe O'Regan. Man, a lot has happened this week. I mean, not very much so with the Reign, even though this is a Reign podcast. But I'm going to give you a couple minutes because I know you want to get it out. Go.
What a week for the New York Yankees, man. Talk about some stressful games. Even the game that we're going to talk about right now for the Ontario Reign. The Yankees were playing in Game 4 of the ALCS versus Cleveland, and it was hard to kind of keep my focus on the game and then doing face-off stats and then watching the Yankees and kind of doing everything back and forth. After the Reign game, I came home tired just from the stress that the Yankees brought me, man. It was awesome.
Welcome to baseball, everybody. And me being an Angels fan, I do not know how that feels. So that sucks.
Sad.
Yeah.
And now Ohtani might be... By the time this comes out, you guys are going to find out whether or not the Dodgers are going to be facing the Yankees or if they're playing a Game 7 tonight.
Yeah, that's right, because we'll be releasing this Monday. That's true. So, a lot obviously baseball has happened, but this is not a baseball podcast, as people might know. This is an Ontario Reign podcast. It is a pipeline podcast for the Los Angeles Kings because the I-10 has to separate the two. And for the people that don't really follow the Reign, here you are. So, before we get into this Ontario Reign talk, this episode is brought to you by Gowdy Law. We all know having a game plan is key, but when it comes to your family's future, are you ready? Gowdy Law is here to help, specializing in estate planning. Gowdy Law ensures your loved ones are protected from losing a load of money and time to probate when you pass away. Just like on the ice, prep matters. Don't wait till the last minute to make the right play. Visit GowdyLaw.com today to start playing for the future. Get estate planning pricing and a free consultation right on their website. It's that simple. The price is right there. Gowdy Law, making estate planning easy, understandable, and affordable. The link is in the description. With that, let's go into the Friday night emo night matchup versus the San Jose Barracuda. Take it away.
Yes, indeed. We have the Bakersfield Condors came back to the Inland Empire for the first time since getting swept by your Ontario Reign last season. Early on, the Condors had a 5-on-3 advantage, but the Reign's penalty kill was too much for the Birds. But not too long after, James Stephon Diggs got his first professional goal of his career, putting the Condors up 1-0 into the second period. Call it the Seth Griffith Roofing Company. He scores out in front, giving Bakersfield some insurance. It is a 2-0 lead for the Condors. But you know the Reign will have to make it close, just like all last year, as they score their first power play goal of the season off the back of Jack Stunica, making the Condors penalty killers looking like cones and making a nice dish out to the sliding Tyler Madden, and the Reign are in the game. Final period of play, Chromiak has a wide open breakaway saved by Colin Delia. The puck actually got over his pad and he makes a nice little kick out with his left leg. I don't think a lot of people saw that. Fagimo, 4 minutes later, tips in a shot from Riley Walsh that everyone in the arena, including the people running the lights, thought was a goal, except for the people that matter most, the Stripes. They go to review and it is confirmed not a goal. It is still 2-1 Condors. Then it will stay 2-1 all the way to the end of the game. Seth Griffith will tally his second goal of the night with an empty netter, and Matthew Savoy puts the dagger into the Reign's chest. 4-1, the final score.
And I think 4-1 kind of is an understatement on that game. That was a really close game, to and through. Also, sir, the Ontario Reign scored a power play goal.
Unbelievable. The day came. The day finally came where the Reign scored a power play goal, and it was a big one. You know, they were down 2-0. It kind of felt a little bit like the Barracuda game last week on Saturday, their opening night. And Jack Stunica, I mean, if you watch the clip, Jack Stunica just kind of, I wouldn't even say dangle his way through the defenders. It wasn't like anything crazy. He just kind of went through them, like I said in the recap. They kind of he made them look like cones. He went through 3 guys and just dished it out to Tyler Madden. It was a little bit out in front. He had to like dive for it a little bit.
Hey, it's a goal regardless. Take it how you want it.
It wasn't sexy, but he got the goal.
Hey, you can take it how you want it, right?
For sure. I mean, especially with the Reign, the way their offense has been this year. Yeah. It was definitely nice to see them score a power play goal and, again, take it any way they wanted.
Absolutely. I mean, the Reign took on Colin D'Elia, born in Rancho Cucamonga.
Was he really? I didn't even know that.
Attended Glendora High School.
Why?
And a SoCal native. So it probably to feel really nice that he was back at home last year with Bakersfield. He had a save percentage hovering around 870 or something like that. Not good. He looked rock solid against the Ontario Reign. However, I'll give credit. The Bakersfield Condors shut down a lot of zone entries from the Ontario Reign Friday night.
Hey, good for D'Elia. I did not know he was born in Rancho Cucamonga. That's kind of a cool little thing, even though that might be inaccurate because I don't think there's a hospital in Rancho Cucamonga. Actually, there's a Kaiser now, but I don't think that Kaiser was a thing.
Who knows? Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, let's see what teams he played for when he was younger. Orange County, HC, 18U. Is that AAA? Do they call it AAA in hockey? Or is it just
AAA.
Merrimack College,
Michigan.
Drafted by the Blackhawks. He's been around for a while, man.
Mm-hmm.
Then to the Canucks.
How old is he?
Let's see. D'Elia is 30 years old, born in 1994.
Okay.
So he's been around for a little bit, 6'2", 207 pounds. He played rock solid, man. I mean, coming into the game, I think we all expected Olivier Rodrigue to get a start, but I guess, he played last week against the Firebirds, and it was only their second game of the season compared to the Reign's third game for the Reign. And so he comes in, it is D'Elia versus Ingham in this game, and D'Elia showed up, man.
D'Elia absolutely showed up. I mean, he wasn't even the youngest he wasn't even the oldest goalie on a roster. What is JF Berube doing on the Ontario Reign?
That was some name, man.
The E-Bug.
Yeah, I think I thought it was someone from Greenville.
Yeah,
because he kind of had like a reddish orange pad. I couldn't really tell from where I was sitting.
Mm-hmm.
And so we go to the transaction log, and it looks like it was Berube.
Yeah,
who was on the ice for the sick Eric Portillo. I wonder how bad that sickness must have been for him not to even be on the bench. I mean, he must have been going through it.
Well, it's something we're not even going to talk about, and I don't even want to know. So, fair enough. Obviously, let's get into the goals and the standouts of the game. I mean, obviously, 1 for 17. Thank God the Reign finally got on the board this year. I mean, 5.8% on the power play is still atrocious. And
they're still not even the worst team in the Pacific Division.
Shout out the Abbotsford Canucks, who are 1 for 19, baby.
That's bad.
Gosh. Bad. Jacob Ingham in goal. So the Reign have rocked with 3 goalies for 3 games starting the year. We obviously all thought Portillo was between the pipes on Friday night. Didn't end up happening as that sickness popped up. Jacob Ingham looked rock solid. Stats aren't going to really show what happened because I think he only faced like 14 or 15 shots. But my goodness, he was hung out to dry half the time, though.
Yeah, Ingham looks like that he stopped 12 out of 14 shots. So obviously you're going to see them and be like, man, that wasn't great. I thought that the Reign worked hard in this game. I thought the Reign was diving out on the power plays and just overall, like, they were really putting their bodies on the line to make sure that puck didn't get to the net. And that's huge when you have a young goalie like Ingham.
Absolutely.
You don't want shots going to him because he's young. But I think something that impressed me about Ingham, and we haven't really seen too much for the Reign the past couple of seasons, is that he didn't move a lot. He looked poised in the net.
Yep.
Portillo moves a lot in the net. His rebounds are big. And Ingham looked very poised, was not moving. He was quiet in the net. And it looked like on any chance, he just didn't look like it fazed him at all.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, Jacob Ingham looked that way too. It almost looked like you couldn't tell the difference whether he gave up a goal or not. He still looked like the same goaltender. He wasn't flopping around in the net and in the crease, which really helps the team. And now let's grant the fact that 5-on-3 power play, couple block shots helped the Reign get out of the zone. Oh, captain, my captain, Joe Hicketts is laying out for block shots, baby. That's what a captain does.
Yeah, that was an important power play. And I said before the game, I said, I don't know if it was actually before. Yeah, it was before the game where I was like, I feel like the first goal in this game is going to be important. And early on, they go down 5-on-3. I believe it was Hellenius. I forgot what it was. It was either holding or tripping. And then Movarari went down for tripping.
And then, yeah.
And yeah, it looked like the Condors were going to go up. They had some good looks. And you have Hicketts diving all over the place, flopping like a fish. You have Ingham making some good saves.
Get it out, son.
Yeah, man. That was a huge play in the game that felt like it was going to turn the tide a little bit and turn Ontario's way.
Yeah, it turns Ontario's way, but just like with San Jose, it can't be that easy. Welcome to hockey, everybody. By the way, another Hockey for Dummies quote. So, E-Bug, emergency backup goalie. That's what it means.
Yes.
Just something in separate. Because Berube is, from my knowledge, was he on a one-day contract? I mean, now he's probably now he might be on a 1 week contract just based off of what just happened. Because we don't know if Portillo's back anytime soon or not. But
yeah, I don't know. I don't think anybody even knew about Berube until about 10 minutes until puck drop, where you just see him on the ice, and it's like, I don't think anyone knew he was on the ice. We just saw he wasn't Portillo.
Yeah.
No one knew he was out there. Again, E-Bug. Man, I wonder what he's been doing. Just, I mean, how does that even work? Do they just like call up like, yo, JT, we need a goalie, man. We need a goalie for tonight. Come on out. I always thought that, like, especially in the AHO, you would just bring someone out from the crowd who might have hockey experience, like an all-in member, like, hey.
Like an all-in member or a Zamboni driver or something.
Yeah, so seeing Berube out there, that was some name.
That would have been cool. I mean, obviously you don't wish an injury on anybody, but if Ingham goes down and Berube ends up going in, it's 2017 all over again because he was the Reign goaltender for a while. Or it'd be like a Scott Foster moment or a David Ayers moment. Now I'm just going through every emergency goalie that's ever played in the National Hockey League. So obviously let's get back to the goals. So James Stefan, right place, right time, beats Ingham clean. Bakersfield goes up 1-0. That's just besides the point, though.
And that's back-to-back weeks.
Yeah.
The Reign
give up a goal.
So it's early in the season. I think that's going to happen a lot. But Casper Houghton scores 2 goals in his professional debut.
Casper, the friendly goal scorer.
And then in his second career game, James Stefan gets his first professional goal. So good for those two. But I think if you're the Reign, it's like the Yankees in a way. I'm going to bring up a Yankee reference where whenever they face like a rookie pitcher, they're going to shove it 10 times out of 10, where it's going to be like 6 shutty for that rookie. And so for the Reign, they've kind of gotten bit by the rookie bug a little bit, letting up goals to guys who are making their professional debut or are young in their career.
Hey, do we know if James Stefan's younger than you too?
I don't think he is, because when I was doing my research, I didn't see anything.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, Casper Haltonen scoring 2 goals, that helps. So let's just say the Reign kind of, in a way, the defense has kind of showed a little bit of inexperience so far this year. Like, obviously, we're 3 games in. We still got 69 games to play. So time in, time out, stuff's going to get worked on. Stuff's going to get fixed up. And before you know it, the Ontario Reign are going to be back in business. Because I don't think the offense is the issue. The offense entries, I mean, honestly, though, with Bakersfield that night, it was a little bit, it was a bit yikes. I mean, some of those entries, like, especially on the power play, Reign go 1 for 4 on the power play. But, like, 2 of those entries, like, there's like 2 or 3 entries in there where they just could not get in the zone.
No, yeah, for sure. And I think
it's a dump chase. Condor player, I almost just said Barracuda. Condor players back there, down the ice. Reset, trailer, go. Dump, boom. Reset, trailer, line change, go. And next thing you know, 1.5 minutes of the power play is gone.
Yeah, I think as far as your first point with the defense, I think Angus Booth, the youngest Reign defenseman, I believe, has been the best defenseman.
Yep.
He talked about it in his post game after game 1. He said that if I'm a ghost out there, that's probably a good thing because I'm doing my job.
Yep.
Stern believes that he's been the best defender for the Reign through these first 3 games. And as far as the offense goes and the power play and stuff, they just don't look the same without their playmakers. They don't have any good puck movers.
Yeah. We can't live in the past, obviously, on that. So guys are gonna have to start finding and making their way in. Like Glenn Gaudin and Jack Studnicka are gonna have to start getting their way in. Jack Studnicka, well, I mean, he inserted himself in pretty well in the power play goal to Tyler Madden. I mean,
yeah, that was a little TJ Tynan-esque of him, and it was good to see. He made a good play. But as far as overall, I think they gotta do more. It's gonna be hard last year, or it's gonna be hard to fill in the shoes of the guys last year. Of course, you had 4 NHL guys. I believe TJ Tynan. If a team wanted to call him up, I think.
They probably would.
I think him tallying 50 assists a year, you can definitely call him up.
Yeah,
doing that.
You can definitely throw him on like the 4th line or something.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a bottom 6 forward. But the only reason why he didn't get called up is because he was the captain last year, and that's not going to hold you back. Like there's no captain in the AHL that's ever going to see the NHL. Like TJ Tynan never saw the NHL. Now I'm about to go through every other Reign captain. I almost just said Michael Mersch. Holy, I'm in my bag.
You're probably a career AHLer if you're a captain in the AHL.
Vincent Laverde never got called up. That's the Reign's first captain. Brett Sutter never got called up. Brett Sutter was with the Reign the whole time. I mean, TJ Tynan's not going to get called up, and then now with Joe Hickett's getting that, I don't think Joe Hickett's is going to get called up either.
Yeah, and I think if you're a Kings fan and you see 4-1 final score, you're going to be like, man, that's not a good game. It wasn't a bad game on the Reign.
I mean, obviously, the score does not show this game. The Reign outshot the Condors 24-16. Power play, Bakersfield went 0 for 4, so the Reign stood tall in the PK unit. The power play unit went 1 for 4. The only problem is the 5-on-5 play did not look good. Like 24 shots, yeah, sure. Oh, we outshot the other team. I mean, what? Half of those shots were kind of just
there wasn't a lot of
flip on net.
There wasn't a lot of grade A chances on the 5-on-5 play.
There were grade B and grade C chances, but maybe there was 1 or 2 grade A chances that the Reign missed out on.
It almost seemed like because it was D'Elia in net and it wasn't Rodrigue that they were trying to almost get lucky on him and try to beat him by him just not being as good of a goalie as some of the other goalies that you're going to see throughout the year.
Absolutely.
And it wasn't working, man. I mean, you had that one good chance from Chromiak, who had a breakaway, and D'Elia made an awesome save. You had Fagemo, who almost put the puck in, and probably less than a quarter of the puck was just touching the line.
So they waved that one off.
So part of it was being unlucky, know, because it could have easily been 2-2.
A couple bounces, and the Reign are in that hockey game, and the Reign could have easily won that hockey game too.
Yeah, for sure.
Like per se, if the Reign, let's see here, if D'Elia on Chromiak doesn't scorpion his left leg to keep the puck out the net, the Reign tie it there because it was going right over his pad, and then Fagemo literally, if he shoots it, if the deflection goes this much further to the left, it's a goal.
Yeah.
And the Reign tie it up there. Like, there are so many outcomes, and the Reign could have very easily won that game just basically off bounces. You're never gonna win a hockey game if you're getting 0 bounces. And the Reign did not get any bounces, and obviously the final score kind of showed that in a way.
For sure. I think a positive in the Reign this season is their penalty kill doesn't look that bad.
Yeah.
It's only 83.3%, but I think that as time goes on and as
this team gets
more experienced,
it's going to get better. I mean, obviously, you got to give them time to get into the Marco Sturm system, but right now, 83% at the start of the year, 83% is pretty average. 4 or 5, a little bit over 4 or 5 on the penalty kill. That I can live with that. You can live with that. You can't live if it's 75% and under, like 3 of 4.
Yeah.
Like, can't really go with that. 4 or 5, perfect. 5 of 6 is going to put you somewhere in the best of the league. That's where the Reign stand right now. But obviously, you want that penalty kill percentage to be as high as you can. I would love to see it, hopefully, as the year goes by, towards that 87, 88, 89, 90 percentile range. They're not going to go over 90%. There's no way. And then the power play percentage. I hope it just ends up in the 20 percentile.
Yeah, I think we've talked about the power play a lot today, but it's got to get better. Just simple as that.
Yep. Can't say much more about it. Can't say much less about it either. So
as far as, faceoffs go, obviously this season I'm trying my best to calculate all the faceoffs and be 100% accurate with it. I think it's so stupid how the AHL doesn't give out face-off stats.
It's part of the game.
So, as far as the four centers this year, Glenn Godden has the highest face-off percentage at 63%. Then Hellenius is at a 60% clip. Stunica 52%, and Pinelli 51%.
Yeah.
Pinelli, I think, is a much better face-off guy than it shows here because last game he went 1 for 9.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just
I mean, you can have a tough day at the office. That's definitely a tough day from the face-off dot. And granted, I think he also got kicked from the circle once or twice. Not even because of him. It was because of the guys around him. Like, there you go. Like one of the guys just pushing in too far and then almost just hit the wall there. And then you get booted. Like that just happens. So, Welcome to hockey. Anyways, that's about all I got to say about that game. Kind of just a wash, honestly. I mean, the Reign played a lot better than the final score is going to dictate. And they got 2 games this week. One against Coachella Valley. They got another one against Henderson, which is racing night on Sunday at Toyota Arena.
Yes. Before that, we got the rain weather report, of course.
Yes, sir. Time to turn to some good meteorologists here. Here we go.
100%. I'm going to go with the 100% and 0% this week. Tyler Madden.
Yeah.
Scores the goal.
Guarantee it.
Now he has 2 goals now this season, and he almost had a third in game 1. Man, he has exceeded expectations this year so far. He's playing like how he did in the playoffs last year, and it seemed like something clicked ever since the playoffs last year.
Absolutely. That's all you got for your 100%?
That's all I got, man. I mean, face-offs, I believe he's 100% since he's been on the circuit. No, he's not. He went 0 for 1 last game. 2 for 2 the game prior. So he's 67%.
Can't do me like that, man.
My bad, man. My bad.
All right, 50%. Give me Riley Walsh. He's bound to break through at some point. He looked really good on Friday night. Very good on his checks, finishing the checks. I mean, the only thing that didn't really go for him is that he just didn't score or get a point. Like, can't do very much about that in a way.
Yeah, and I thought that I kind of ripped him last episode for not playing like he should be. Last game he played a lot better. He even almost had the assist where that shot that he shot on net wasn't even really a shot. He kind of
just flipped it.
He kind of flipped it to Fagemo. And Fagemo almost had the beautiful tip in. So Walsh was a lot better on Friday night.
Yes, no doubt about it. What do we got at the 0% marker, unfortunately?
0%, I'm going to go Chris Hyatt. I thought that the entire team...
I was not expecting that.
I thought that the entire team worked hard. I don't know if there was one guy who really stood out to being just absolutely awful. I thought they all worked hard that game. I thought that it could have turned either way. And if they won the game, then we wouldn't be talking about who played better with the Fagemo.
Certainly.
Like how he doesn't have a goal yet in the first 3 games.
Absolutely.
So
I mean, Chris Hyatt. Yeah,
I'm going Chris Hyatt just
Chris Hyatt's the power play guy. So
yeah, there you go.
He's the power play coach in the Reign, or 1 for 17 from the power play. So I mean, the Reign could also very easily be 4 or 5 for 17 on the power play. They've had some really solid chances on the power plays here. I mean, unfortunately, they just don't cash out on those.
Yeah, they just haven't been good.
And truthfully, if the Reign cashed out on some of those power play chances we're talking about, the Reign very easily would be 3-0.
But without Clark and without Tynan
and without Thomas,
like what can you see in this power play? Like what can Godin do or Stunica for them to be at that level they were last year?
I mean, Gon and Stunica are both very good American Hockey League players. Here's the difference. They've been with the Reign for 3 games. They've been with Marco Sturm for a month, if not less. Actually, out of that matter, it is probably less. 3 or 4 weeks, 3.5 weeks or so. So I think the only factor that's going to make them better with this Reign team is this great word. It's called time. Give them time. Last year, the Ontario Reign, first half of the year, were a 500 hockey club. They were like 7th or 8th place, but you gave them time. That team had a lot of new faces. They had Connaughton, Santini, Hudon, Hickett's. Like, I could go on. give them time. They mesh together. They go 20-8 in the second half, and they end up getting third place in the playoffs. And they just kept winning. They kept winning. They can't lose.
Yeah, man. So I think, like you said, give them time. Because obviously last year they went on that run, and I don't think anyone expected them to. You kind of saw the breakout of Clark. The Tynan broke out of his show that he was in last year a little bit, where he was kind of slumping a little bit in the middle of that season. You saw Akil Thomas, who looked like he might be another Kings prospect bust, if you will.
Yeah.
And same with Turcotte.
Yeah.
And so all of them broke out kind of at the same time. Akil stepped up. Turcotte now is with the Kings and looks phenomenal.
Absolutely.
Through the first few games of the season. So give them time, and I think that later on in the year, we're going to look back and be like, man, remember when they were 1 for 17 on the power play through the first 3 games?
Yeah, no one's going to remember that if the Ontario Reign start putting it together in December and January in baseball we call it dog days of summer, but we're going to just call it the grind days of the winter. Like, it's the middle of the season where the Reign are going to start putting stuff together, and then before we know it, I think this team's going to go on a heater at some point.
For sure.
They went on multiple heaters last year. They went on like a 6-game heater and a 9-game heater. Like, there were just times where the Reign just could not lose. Straight up.
So, for next week, they don't play for another week.
Great.
Friday, October 25th versus the 1-2 Coachella Valley Firebirds.
Boo.
They haven't looked great this season, so we'll see what happens when they come to town. And then on Sunday, the 27th, the Henderson Silver Knights. Haven't seen them in a while.
Yeah, you haven't seen them in a while. I was going to say, because they were out of Toyota Arena. They played like 4 games. And
it's because at the beginning of the season, they
had all their games
time.
packed up. Yeah. They had all their games packed into those first 3 months, and December came, and they're like, oh, well, we don't see them anymore now.
Yeah.
So I actually think their last game, no. I don't know if we played them on Teddy Bear Toss Night, but it was around that time. So
yeah. Excited to see them back.
Yep, absolutely. They're rocking a little bit of a different look. They've got Robert Hagg, who was with the Ducks up and down last year. They're still rocking with Grigory Denisenko. They still have Yeka Brabnek, Mason Morelli, Jake Bishkoff, who's their new captain as well. So hopefully this team doesn't look that bad. Oh, they got Akira Schmid too. Schmid. It's one or the other. He was with the Devils last year, but he's a highly touted goalie prospect. So get used to seeing that again in the AHL, like Askarov on the Barracuda, Schmid on the Henderson Silver Knights. Stezka's still with the Firebirds. Get used to him as well. Time in, time out, we're going to see him all the time. And Rodriguez really good on the Condors as well. We just didn't see him.
And the Silver Knights also lost some key pieces. They lost Daniel Diamato.
Yep.
Last season, he played with the Condors last game. And then also Alex Swedelikov.
There you go. We got
a little Russian name or something.
Yeah.
Which he was an ECHL player last year mainly, but still, man.
He got himself there. Another guy, Reign legend, Sheldon Rempel, was there last year. So they're rocking a bit of a different look. They almost are in the same boat as the Reign. The only difference is they missed the playoffs and the Reign made the playoffs last year. That's right about the only difference.
Yeah.
So hopefully the Reign go 2-0 this week. That would be really nice. Obviously, going into Coachella Valley is never fun because it's almost like the newly touted rivalry of the Ontario Reign, the I-10 battle. So
Friday night, that arena is going to be rocking.
Yeah, that arena will be rocking, and I'm about to take a shot at Firebirds fan base. The arena's going to be rocking, and half the fan base ain't going to know what the heck is going on the ice.
Oh, come on. Yeah. Come on.
No, we know that's the truth. No, that's the truth. Whether you like it or not, that's the truth. And then they come home to play Henderson on racing night on Sunday. We hopefully look forward to seeing you guys there. We will be there Sunday. Until next time, he's Anthony Collazo from the Hockey News. I'm Joe O'Regan. We will see you next week. Have a great week, everybody.